Hello! Today I'm going to be doing a full face of what's new at the drugstore, and I think I actually pretty much have a full face. Drugstore prices are definitely getting a bit more expensive, but I'm pretty sure every single product in here is under £15. Most things are probably under £10, and if you like this kind of video, give this a thumbs up. I feel like every time I film now, my hair and my eyebrows are a different colour. I need to retint my eyebrows, I need to get my hair done again. I actually need to pluck my eyebrows. Why did tweezers just stop working after like a week? Ow. The first thing, I have actually used this already. I have tested this multiple times already. I've been using it for a couple weeks now. And I did do an ad. I think the ad is up when you're watching this video. Yeah, I did do an ad on my TikTok for this, but this is not sponsored. This is the Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer. It says on there that it's got 2% niacinamide, and it says that it lasts for up to 24 hours. I mean, realistically, is anyone wearing their makeup for 24 hours? I mean, all props if you are. It's kind of like a medium thickness as serums go, but it sort of feels like you're putting on a skincare serum. But then as you rub it in, it gets really sticky. And because it's a slightly thinner consistency, it's a little bit easier to blend than your standard kind of grippy primer, you know, like the e.l.f. one, which is quite thick. But I love the e.l.f. one anyway. But you have to kind of like really spread it across your face because this is a little bit thinner. It's just easier to kind of smooth everywhere. But yeah, it gets really sticky. Wait, what can I show you? This is my usual my remote. This box, like it gets really grippy. And like I said, just for full disclosure, I did do an ad over on my TikTok, but this video is not sponsored. And whenever I've done like an ad on another platform, unless I tell you in a YouTube video that this is sponsored, they haven't paid me to talk about this. I could literally never speak about it again if I wanted to, but no, I've really been liking it. So it doesn't feel oily at all, just like sticky. And then for my foundation, part of me is tempted to use this as my foundation. Oh, but this does say it's a 2-in-1 found sealer. Not heard that one before. For my foundation, this is a product that I'm pretty sure has existed for a long time, but it's new to me. This is the No. 7 Stay Perfect foundation. This says it is a transfer proof foundation. Again, 24 hour. Where did they get this 24-hour claim from? Who was wearing their foundation for 24 hours? Transfer proof foundation that stays put through activity, humidity, and rain. Lightweight formula, medium coverage, blah, 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 blah. And I have got the shade Calico. Okay, let's just start with one pump and then I can, oh, this looks like it's going to be a really good shade match actually. Look at that. Okay, I've just done like another half pump. Oh wait, where did my brushes go? I'm just going to use this brush, which is the e.l.f. Liquid Bronzer and Contour Duo brush to just kind of stipple that on. Yeah, you know what? This is a really good shade match. Like, that matches my neck kind of perfectly. Oh, the only thing is, though, I'm pretty sure the concealer I bought in my tan shade. Great. Good job, though. But we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So far, I'd agree with what it says, that it has a medium coverage, because it's kind of covered most of the redness of my spots here, but you can still see them a little bit. I've just turned the brightness down and just zooming you in a little bit. I think it looks pretty nice. Oh wait, hang on. Where's my sponge? Just gonna blend over my nose with my sponge. I mean, I would definitely need to go in with concealer to like cover all of these. But yeah, I like it so far. Just got to see how it lasts. We may have a problem with this concealer. I don't think I have any concealers that do that, so I'm already intrigued. I have not seen anyone speak about this. I don't know if it's been a thing in America and it's only just come to the UK. I spotted it on the Superdrug website. This is the L'Oreal Skin Ink Found Sealer, it says on the side. 2-in-1 Found Sealer. And I went for the shade 40 Warm. I don't think they had any swatches on the Superdrug website, so I just kind of went on a whim. But I think this is going to be a dark. It has a giant applicator. Don't know why I'm smelling it. It smells like makeup. Yeah, that's going to be too yellow, isn't it? Wow, it feels really thin. I'm going to guess it's not going to have much coverage, but let's give it a go. Oh my god, yeah, it's literally yellow. Okay, yeah, that is definitely the wrong shade for me. Coming! I'll be there in a sec. Yeah, it's a really thin consistency. It feels more like a skin tint than a concealer, but then maybe that's the point. I actually don't know. Yeah, I'm really confused. It's not really working like a concealer. It just feels like I'm putting a lightweight serum on my spots. Don't really think that's given much coverage. Now I kind of wish I tried it as like a skin tint type thing. Ugh, I'm gonna have to try that another day. I get why people watch videos, to see what it's supposed to do. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. It's been like an hour. James's parents were coming around to help us put some bits up and sort some things out, and I ended up just chatting to them for a while. So, and I mean, to be fair, I didn't set anything. And it hasn't creased, but I feel like that concealer really didn't give me that much coverage. And I since had a little look on TikTok, and I have now seen some videos on it. I saw Michaela did a video on this, and I've seen most people just using it as like an all over skin tint, the L'Oreal thing. As a concealer, I don't really get it. But the consistency of it, I mean, actually I did say as I was applying it, it felt more like I was putting a skin tint on. And that's what I seem to have seen everyone using this for. So I'm gonna have to give it another go on another day, like all over my face. It does look quite nice on some of those people on TikTok, but as a concealer, I personally would not use it for that. it's not for me. But it does seem to like, it definitely had kind of dried down. Instead for my concealer, I'm just going to use this 17 one. And I've got the shade 002N. Why did I just put on so much? I don't know. This concealer I think is like £2.50. Okay, let's see how this will go over the top of that other L'Oreal one that's already dried. That's the only problem. I feel like where I put that other concealer around my nose, it's gone a little bit funny where it's dried already. I'm sure I can make it work. I'm gonna need some better coverage on these spots. I've just done a tiny dot of Too Faced on there. Neither of those were cutting it. To be honest, guys, I think it's just one of those days where, you know, like when you have those spots and they just don't want to cover. Because I know for a fact, as soon as I go in with a cream bronzer, that's all just gonna come off anyway. Speaking of bronzer, I saw both of these in there, and originally I picked up the Rimmel one and I put it in my basket. And then I went around to the Maybelline section and I was like, oh, the Maybelline have got one as well. So the Rimmel one is the Multitasker 3-in-1 bronzing stick. And I went for the shade medium. I think the lighter shade was sold out. I really like the Rimmel Multitasker, like the, you know, like the dupe for the Flawless Filter. That Rimmel one is so nice. It's one of my favourite kind of dupes. And then the Maybelline one is called the Lifter Stix Multi Use Face Stick. But you know what? I was really excited to see some more bronzer sticks at Boots because so many drugstore brands just don't have good ones. So I'm like, please, I hope that these are good. The Maybelline one, ooh, that was really creamy. This one looks a little bit more cool toned actually. And I went for the shade 45. They definitely had a bigger shade range in this one. Like the shade range looked pretty decent for the Maybelline one. The Rimmel one, I think they had 3 shades. Just from first impressions, the Maybelline one, it looks like more of a contour. The Rimmel one looks like more of a bronze. Let's do Rimmel on this side. I actually really like the colour of that, and down my nose as well. And then I'm going to use the same brush that I used for my foundation, just this e.l.f. one. You know what? I'm going to use the slightly shorter side to just tap this in. See what we're working with. Okay. And on my forehead, let's just blend that out. It's definitely blending out quite sheer, but it looks quite nice. I mean, I definitely have bronzer blindness or whatever you want to call it. That's a pretty nice shade. However, I will say this being the medium shade, if you had medium skin, that's not going to work for you, I don't think. Well, it might, but it's just going to be very, very subtle. I mean, yeah, that looks nice down my nose. Let's do the Maybelline one on the other side. I don't want to draw over this spot. Yeah, that's definitely more cool toned, isn't it? That looks like more of a contour. Yeah, the formula of this one seems a little bit more creamy and it feels a little bit less oily almost. So I'm also just going to use the same e.l.f. brush just to blend that one out. Oh yeah, that's definitely more of a contour, isn't it? As opposed to a bronzer. And then on my forehead, let's just blend that in. This one's also shearing out as I blend it. I mean, I guess most contour sticks do. Generally, I prefer a slightly more warm bronzing stick. So I don't know if this Maybelline one is a little bit more cool toned to me, but I think I slightly prefer the way that that one's blended out. I don't know if that looks a bit patchy, but then it could be I've also got spots on that side as well, or like scars on that side. The struggle is real. Let's maybe put on I'm just gonna put a little bit more on my forehead. You see, that one's a little bit more of an oily consistency. I don't know, I feel like that's kind of, is that looking a bit patchy? Or am I just imagining things in my head? I don't know, I feel like it's looking a little bit patchy. But then it looks fine on my forehead, so I'm confused. It could just be my skin, you know? I mean, I would still wear that. Put a tiny bit more there. This kind of reminds me of the Rare Beauty one, actually. In terms of the formula, though, not the colour, because the Rare Beauty one that I've got is a lot more warm toned. I mean, they've both definitely done the job. I prefer the colour of this one, but the formula of this one, I am definitely going to have to continue testing both of those. I just wanted to show you this. If I haven't posted it as a short by the time you watch this video, I will make sure to do that because I found this in Boots, which is from Collection, $4.99. I got the shade Seeing Double. They did have another one that was more of like a berry plum kind of shade, but it's a blush duo. So you get a cream blush at the top and then a powder blush at the bottom. This is really nice. I'm not going to use that today just because I did already test this in a short. So these are new from Milani. I did get sent these. They are the Cheek Kiss liquid blushes. It says it's a gel cream liquid blush, which makes me a little bit nervous because I don't know, when I've tried gel cream blushes in the past, they've been very lightly pigmented and I've not liked them that much. I'll give it a try. I need to give it a fair shot. Oh my god, that one looks quite bright. Okay, I don't think that's going to be the shade for me. That is Pink Flirt. I'm gravitating towards the coral one. Oh, okay, no I'm not. That's really orange. That is nothing like the colour that's on the packaging. Oh my god, they're really, really liquidy. I think it might have to be this one, which is called Rose Romance. That one looks better. The consistency of that one is a lot less liquidy. I am confused.com. The Pink Flirt one, I mean, now that I look back at it, that does look quite nice. Let's do one of each. So I'm going to use my IT Cosmetics brush and I'm just going to take that Rose Romance, sorry, pick some up on my brush. And I'm just going to dab that onto my cheek. Okay. As suspected, it's more of a lightweight, thin consistency where it's not giving me crazy levels of pigment, but there definitely is some pigment there. Let's try the other shade. I'm just taking a really, really small amount of that one. Okay, well it's doing something. I like the sort of fresh finish that it gives. It's a slightly dewy finish. There's no like glitter in it or anything. Then it is, yeah, like I said, very lightly pigmented. So I'm just going to take a little bit more on my hand and then just smush that into my brush. And then see if I can build up the colour a little bit. Okay, yeah, that one's actually nicer than I thought it was going to be. I'm also just going to put that shade on the other side as well. I do actually like the finish of it, but it's just a little bit too sheer for me. Oh no, wait, me trying to blend it out. I think it's just taken off the rest of my makeup. Ah. This isn't really going to plan, is it? I feel like as I blended that out with my sponge, it then kind of took off my makeup underneath. I'm not crazy about those either. I like this one though, so I wish I'd just used that instead. I do also have this, which is from MUA, which I bought this ages ago and I just haven't tested it yet. MUA Blushed Liquid Shimmer Blush. I just saw this in Superdrug when I was browsing and I thought, liquid shimmer blush? And I swatched it and I thought it looked really nice. This is the shade Frenzy that I went for. It looks like that. It definitely feels like more of a slightly moussey texture. Again, I'm just gonna work some of this into my brush and then just dab it over the top. Okay, yeah, that one's giving me more pigment straight away. I think the problem is when a blush is too liquidy, it is just probably going to remove your foundation underneath. Okay, that MUA one is a lot nicer. I don't really see much shimmer in it though. It's like a very subtle shimmer, but maybe that's actually a good thing. There's no like chunky shimmers in this. I like that a lot more. Then for my powder, I wanted to try a new one because I have not tried a new drugstore powder, like a drugstore loose powder, in a while. And I saw this Revlon one and it was the Revlon Colourstay Blot Matte Setting Powder. I went for the 001 shade, which I'm assuming is hopefully, fingers crossed, translucent. But I just thought, you know what? The drugstore could be hiding some hidden gems. Instead of having, that's actually really handy. It's got one of these little things that you pull out so that it stops it from going everywhere, but it's not impossible to open because some of them are. Just blend out a couple of those creases. Trigwell Cosmetics Powder Puff, and I'm just going to take some of that powder and kind of tap off the excess. And then set under my eyes. Are you joking? What the hell? What has just happened? What is going on there? Why have I got like a brown orange line? Like it's just turned my under eye orange. Is that the powder that's done that? What the heck? I mean, actually, yeah, when it blends out. Is the powder oxidizing? Wait, let's try some on my other hand. When you first put it on, it looks like that. And then I don't think it's doing it on that side. And I've got like a stripe. It's like reacting with the concealer and turning orange. That does not normally happen with my powder or concealer. That looks awful. Like, let's use a little bit on my forehead. How am I gonna fix this? Coverage under my eyes has just completely disappeared. I have got this, which is the Rimmel Lasting Finish Powder Foundation. So please tell me that this is gonna be able to fix this monstrosity right here. I'm just taking a little bit on a brush because I don't want to go too heavy. But then actually my under eye needs some heaviness because like, look at that. I am tired, but I also look tired. I'm gonna take some on a powder puff and try to... Okay, actually that has fixed that weird orange line, I think. Should I also see if it can add some more coverage to my spots? Okay, yes. Okay, cool. I feel like that's kind of saved it a bit. It's definitely looking better than it did. Let's just... Oh wow, okay, sweet. That's definitely giving me more coverage down there. Okay, nice. I like that. I would use that again. It's not quite as full coverage as the Maybelline one. I feel like I always compare everything to the Maybelline powder foundation because that one is my favourite in terms of the coverage, but that definitely did the job. The only thing I don't have is a new powder bronzer. Just gonna use this L'Oreal bronzer. You know what? I'm just gonna use a tiny bit of this collection powder blush from this little duo. Let's use the powder from this to add a little bit more pink. Okay, cool. So I got this, which is one of the NYX highlighters, which is the Butter Highlighters in You Butter Work, which is described as a frosty pink. And again, I have tested this already. It's definitely more on like the icy pink sort of side, like the cool toned pink. And these highlighters, they're not like super natural, if you know what I mean. Like you can definitely tell that you've got some highlighter on there, but they do give a really nice glow. It's kind of reminding me of like highlighters from back in 2017 maybe. But yeah, I do like this as a blush topper because it just gives an extra bit of pink and an extra bit of glow, which is nice. I'm really pink now. I'm really pink! And then I'm gonna go over the top with the shade Bright and Butter, which is like a light champagne, super, super pale gold colour. So I'm gonna add a tiny little bit of that, which yeah, I think if you have pale skin, this would be such a lovely highlighter. I'm also gonna put a bit of that down my nose. Oh, look at that nose highlight. If you're looking for a nice drugstore highlighter, They're really nice. So I saw this brow gel, which I've never seen before. I've seen the clear version, but I've not seen the tinted one. This is the Maybelline Super Lock Tinted Brow Glue. I haven't tried the original brow glue from Maybelline actually, but I'm assuming it's quite similar to the NYX one. This one I got the shade medium brown. Looks quite thick. Oh wow. It feels very sticky. It feels very, very similar to the NYX brow glue. It kind of actually feels like glue, I'm not gonna lie. In terms of the tint, very, very subtly tinted. If you compare it to the other eyebrow, it's very lightly tinted. It's not gonna give you that much. If you're into your kind of soap brow type things, this feels really sticky. Oh, they've kind of dried down already. And you see what I mean? Like my eyebrows are just staying there. Okay, I'm just gonna wait for those to dry because I don't want the next product to go like gloopy. In the meantime, where did those tweezers go? I get brows growing all the way down here. I've got the new L'Oreal Faux brow pen, and once again I want to give full disclosure. I have just filmed an ad for this, which is going to be going up on my TikTok. This is not sponsored by L'Oreal. They do not know I'm including this in the video, and I feel like I can give you a bit more detail as opposed to like a shorter video. So originally when I tried this, and it's the same with originally when I tried the NYX brow pen, originally when I tried the Maybelline brow pen, like NYX, Maybelline, and L'Oreal, they're all kind of owned by the same company anyway, so I'm assuming they're very similar. But with brow pens, I tend to find that I have to go like a shade darker than I think I might need. But interestingly, in this L'Oreal one, they don't make a medium brown shade. I had the dark blonde shade, the light brunette, and the dark brunette. I don't think there's a medium brunette. I could be wrong. But this is a brow pen, but instead of just being like single hair, it has these two little bristles, I guess. But I'm just gonna swatch them for you. So this first one, I think, is the dark blonde shade, which looks like that. And then the next one is light brunette. This one just looks a little bit warmer. So that one is the light brunette colour compared to the dark blonde. And then the dark brunette, yeah, I'm definitely still gonna go for the dark brunette. The dark brunette is that one there, which is maybe a little bit too dark for my hair. However, I found that the light brunette was a little bit too warm tone for me. You know what though? I'm gonna try the dark blonde shade on this side. So yeah, it does the same thing as kind of like the NYX one, how it mimics your brow hairs, but this one's kind of twice as fast because it has the two little teeth. The dark blonde one could be a winner. I think I just assumed that this would be too light. Generally with brow pens as opposed to a pencil, I just find that the slightly darker shades work a little bit better in terms of giving you that like definition. And sometimes you need a bit of extra pigment. But actually I feel like that shade looks pretty good. But yeah, can you see at the front? It just adds like the little brow strokes. The other side I'm going to do the brunette one, and then I might end up going back over this eyebrow. But hopefully you can see, yeah, look. Look at that. I think I went a bit heavy-handed on the other side, but can you see like the little brow strokes? It just gives like the effect of, I don't know, I guess just a little bit more natural, having a few more hairs. I think I do prefer this side. Like comparing them side by side, this one still looks a little bit more warm, which actually at the moment my hair's faded to be quite warm. So maybe it does go a little bit better, but generally I think I prefer the dark brunette shade. But I think this would still work if you had dark eyebrows. And then they do also have a soft black colour, which is even darker, but yeah, maybe that is a bit dark, but we're gonna roll with it. You know what? I've not actually used my NYX brow pen in ages. It's very similar to the NYX one and the Maybelline one. However, this one is fully like smudge proof. I'm not gonna lie, I left this on my hand when I showered and it still didn't come off. So I think unless you remove this with makeup remover, or like if you had this on your hand and you showered over multiple days, it probably would come off. But like if you were to sleep in this, I don't even think it would budge, because like look at that. It does not smudge at all. Let me know what shade you think. I feel like maybe I need one in the middle. L'Oreal, if you could make a medium brown shade that's like cool toned and not too warm, that would be amazing. But then I am getting my hair redone next week and my hair's going to be darker, so then this shade will probably match me better. But I feel like I could get away with either, to be honest. It just depends like what kind of look I'm going for. But there we go. For my eyeshadow, I was sent some bits from the Colourpop and Tangled collection, and Tangled is one of my favourite films. I love all of the visuals in it. Like, I love the storyline. Tangled is one of my proper comfort films. These liquid highlighters have got like their little lanterns on them. I only want to open one because I don't think I need both. But then I was kind of liking the look of this goldeny one because it's got like little pink reflex in it. I think I'm going to go for this one. I don't know why this is calling my name, and it's called I See the Light. They have the song in it where all the lanterns are up in the sky. Like one of the most beautiful movie scenes I think ever, like with all the lanterns and the boats in Tangled. This is what the highlighter looks like. So I'm actually gonna put some on the back of my hand because it's like, yeah, slight pink reflect. Please don't ruin my whole face. Let's just like blend that out. It feels like a really nice consistency. I'm gonna take some on the bum end of my sponge. And I'm just gonna dab some. I mean, I already have powder highlighter on, so I'm not too sure why I thought this was a good idea, but weirdly, I've been really using again the REM Beauty liquid highlighter and putting it over the top of powder, which is so surprising because I never ever used to do that. As long as you do it with a sponge and just like gently dab, sometimes they do, oh yeah. That's definitely added a bit more glow. And it does have a slight pink reflect. I mean, I know I had pink on my cheek anyway, but can you see on my hand, like it's gold, but then it reflects pink? That's definitely added a bit of glow. You know what? Who am I? Like, I like some liquid highlighters now. You would never catch me saying that a few years back. I mean, obviously it's a little bit more difficult to tell because I do have that highlighter on there already, but that's definitely done some more. Okay, I don't know. I never normally highlight my chin. I don't know why I've just put a highlight on my chin. I will 100% use that again. I'm glad that I opened it. Okay, so for the eyeshadow, I'm going to do some fun eyeshadow, which I've not done in ages. This is what the packaging looks like. Why did they not use this visual on the front of the palette? I mean, it still looks cool. The colours on the inside are like purples and golds. I feel like we need a green in there for Pascal. And I'm going to do something fun and purple, and I actually can't wait. I'm gonna start with Mother Knows Best, which is this dark matte purple. Well, medium matte purple, I guess. And I'm just gonna put that on the inner corners and the outer corners of my eye. I'm so curious about these shade names. I've not actually read them all yet. And at last I see the light. Let's wing it out slightly. It's actually been so long since I did some colourful eyeshadow that I kind of feel like I've forgotten what I'm doing. At least I started with the darker shade today, hey? Then I'm going to take the shade Lost Princess. Hang on, what are the shades? We've got Max, Eugene, Magic Hair, All Those Days, The Smolder, Gleam and Glow, Blondie, 18th Birthday, Live Your Dream, Lost Princess, Stolen Crown, and Mother Knows Best. Great names, great names. But we could have had a Pascal. Come on, guys. I'm just going to take this matte purple in the middle. But I'm going to go over with a shimmer, actually. I'm like, I've just put a tiny bit on and I'm like, stop. Okay, let's stop because I'm going to do a shimmer. Let's take this matte lilac, which is probably one of my favourite shades in the palette. And I'm just going to use that, I guess, like over the top of this purple, but mostly to sort of blend out the edges. Oh yeah, that one's really vibrant. It's definitely a very pigmented lilac. Which one do I go for the center? Because they all look gorgeous. The Stolen Crown and Magic, oh no wait, Gleam and Glow, they're kind of like pressed glitters. Stolen Crown, it's a pressed glitter, but there's definitely a lot of like eyeshadow base in there, so it's not like a sheer, oh no wait, sorry, that one was Gleam and Glow. This one is Stolen Crown, the slightly pinkier one next to it. And then we've got the purple shade, which is Live Your Dream. That is also gorgeous. And then on my little finger, I've got Blondie, which is this like bright gold. And then the final shimmer, oh no wait, there's Max, which is the white, it's like a pinky white. And then Those Days, which is like a dark purple. Okay, the shade Max is that one there. I mean, that was alright. It's not as nice as the others. And then that's the dark purple, which isn't really that shimmery. We're gonna do Live Your Dream and Stolen Crown. Live Your Dream. Oh, that is a lovely shimmer formula. It's not too chunky. I don't know, sometimes Colourpop eyeshadows can be a bit hit and miss. But this one feels really thin, but it's also really nice and reflective. Okay, gorge. I must have seen that film about 10 times. I'm gonna take Stolen Crown and put some of this right in the very center. Ooh. This one does have like little bits of glitter in it, but they're not too chunky and it doesn't feel too oily, because sometimes pressed glitters, oh wow. Sometimes pressed glitters, they just feel like the formula feels horrible. But this feels like a pretty decent one. And I'm gonna bring that a little bit higher up, like up towards my brow bone almost. Kind of like the lanterns going upwards. I don't know. Me trying to be poetic. I was debating doing like a graphics. No, I feel like that would still look cool. Okay, let's try. I'm going to take All Those Days, which is this dark shimmery purple. I'm definitely going to put this on my lash line. But I'm also so tempted to do a little, like, I don't really know what I'm doing. Add a little bit of that. Did I prefer it without? I cannot make my mind up. I'm just gonna go for it. Makeup is about having fun, being creative. If I don't like this, then I won't do it like that again. Now I'm like, damn it, I wish I'd left it, but you know what, it is what it is. This little brush, by the way, it's the Refa 23 brush. Such a good, tiny little detailer. I'm just gonna kind of fill in that outer corner bit. I'm just gonna take a little bit of that lighter purple shade and just lighten up. I feel like it looks a bit heavy on the inner corners there. So let's just add a tiny bit of that shimmer purple just over the top. And then on my inner corners, I'm going to use the shade Max. It's like a generic white with pink reflect, but it's nothing special, that shade. And then just on my lower lash line, I'm going to take the matte purple and the lilac. Let's take some of that pressed glitter as well. And then that shimmery lilac as well. I basically just added all the colours that I used on my lid. If you're into your purples, that's a lovely little purple palette. I really like it. So far, all the shades I've tested, I like. Should we put a tiny bit of the smolder along my lash line? So this is the finished eyeshadow. And then I was so intrigued by this. I did initially buy this in Superdrug and then they did send me another one as well. This is the Max Factor False Lash Effect Supreme Recharge Mascara. And it's actually refillable. Oh, you just push that. Oh God. Wait, I didn't want to do that. Oh, and then you push out from the base that way. I'm a little bit hesitant because the brush is a plastic bristle brush, but the teeth are very far apart, which doesn't always give the best volume. But I loved that this was refillable. I think that's really cool. So if you keep this like metal, I think it's plastic actually. The actual refill itself was still like a plastic tube of mascara, but I liked the idea of seeing a drugstore brand doing a refillable product, and if people could work on that, that would be amazing. Just the concept I was excited by, because I'd love to see a lot more of that. And if a drugstore brand can do it, if Max Factor can do it, then hopefully other brands will follow suit. I mean, so far it looks very natural. It is building, but not as much as I want it to. Like, I want a bit more length and volume. It almost feels like I need to wait for it to dry in between coats to get the volume and length that I need. Maybe I'll try doing my lower lashes and come back to the top ones. Okay, wait a sec. Actually waiting for that to dry and then going back in with another coat has definitely made a big difference, which makes me think that I'm probably going to like this mascara a lot more once the formula's dried out a little bit. It is quite wet at the moment to the point where like it doesn't build that great upon itself, but leaving that to dry for a little bit has done wonders. I still definitely prefer other mascaras, but it's definitely done something. Unfortunately, it doesn't compete with my faves. I got sent these multi-liners from Revlon. The Colourstay multi-liner, which you can use on your eyes or you can use on your lips. So I think I'm going to take this champagne-y toned one. High Point in my waterline. Do my eyes now look crazy? Then I saw these in Primark. All of these lashes were £5. It also says on the back they're vegan and cruelty-free. Like, some of them look a bit more voluminous. Let's do two 10 millimeters. Okay. I did two 10mm and two of the slightly thicker 8mm. I'm just going to do the same on the other side. I'll be back. I think they worked better on this eye. My right eye. I don't know, that just looks better than the other side to me, but I used the same lashes, so maybe some of them are a little bit uneven. Generally, like, pretty good. You get all of that for a £5. Finally, for my lips, I've got another one of these Revlon Colourstay. Oh, that's on the floor. So this is the Revlon Multi Liner in Dallying. Let's just go really lightly with it. It's not as dark as I thought. And then I've heard good things about these e.l.f. Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balms. I have got two shades. They sent me over a few shades. The two shades that I picked out were Strawberry Shortcake and Vanilla Toffee. With this look though, we need a pink, don't we? To go with like the subtle pink, like the pink on the cheeks, the Tangled theme, like the purple eyes. I feel like I need a pink. This is what the packaging looks like. I think they're supposed to be a dupe of the Summer Fridays ones. They have the little like clear... Oh, it's squishy! Can they just send me an empty one so I can chew it? Anyone else love chewing plastic? Because same. So it looks like this with a little squishy applicator. Oh my god, it smells like strawberry. It smells like strawberry sweets. Okay, it's definitely not got much pigment in it at all. Like, can you see? It's not really giving me much pigment. With that lip liner, that is so glossy. It looks like that, so as you can see, it's very lightly pigmented. That feels so nice. It feels more hydrating and less sticky than the e.l.f. lip oils. I mean, the lip oils anyway, they're not really sticky. I love the formula of the original e.l.f. lip oils. This one feels like slightly thinner, but it feels more hydrating. That feels great. Like, that's a really nice formula. They've smashed that. So there we have it. This is my finished makeup look. Some of that was a struggle. There also were some nice things in there as well, don't get me wrong. Oh god, I forgot that at the end of the day I wanted to film a makeup check-in. I've just been crying over how much I love Pinky, our dog. So now I have like a tear streak that like went this way and dripped off my nose, but I was gonna say everything's lasted pretty well. I think it's like 10:30 at night now. The foundation still looks really good actually. It started to break up a bit in my smile line, and then I did blow my nose, so it's come off like round my nostrils a bit, but it's not too bad, you know? I feel like it still looks really smooth sort of around this area. And my forehead's definitely got a bit oily, but it's nothing crazy. I have a little patch there. I don't know if I like rubbed my face or something, but the eyes are still looking good. Chin is starting to break down a little bit, but generally I think it looks pretty good, minus the tears. And I believe in my previous video I said I was bringing back question of the day, so if you've got any more questions for me, leave them down below with the hashtag question of the day, and I might pick one to answer in my next video. Today's question comes from DKNY Borg, and they have said, do you have an attachment to a makeup item that you refuse to get rid of? Many. Let me just go get a couple. The problem is I'm a very sentimental person, and I've always struggled with getting rid of things because I get attached to them. First one, I've mentioned this before many times. This is the Makeup Geek and Manny MUA palette. It was signed by Manny, but then all the signing, like the Sharpie rubbed off, and then I tried to preserve it by painting nail polish over the top, but it's already gone. Like, it did say I love you, and then it had Manny's signature. The funny thing is I then ended up, to this day, now me and Manny follow each other and like comment on each other's videos and stuff. He'd probably be like, just get rid of it. I loved this palette, and at the time this meant a lot to me because I won it in a competition. It was a Beauty Bay competition, and I was a huge fan of Manny at the time. Did I ever think that would happen? No. My first ever MAC lipstick was MAC Creme de Nude. I barely wore it because look at the shade of this. It's the same colour as my skin. This was my first ever piece of makeup that I think I stole from my mum's makeup bag, or she was like getting rid of it and I took it. I think I wore this maybe twice because back then I didn't know what to do with blush. This is like when I was a child. It's the Rimmel blush in the shade Smoked Oyster. Look at this old vintage packaging. So this belonged to my mum. But if you have any more questions, it can be about literally anything, leave them down below and I might answer one in my next video. I'm gonna go. I've been filming for hours now. I need to go get a drink. And I hope you guys are really good. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up. If you like this kind of content, subscribe because I do it quite often. And I'm gonna try my very best, everyone, to pre-record a bunch of videos so that when I'm on maternity leave, I can still be like posting, and hopefully, fingers crossed, like I'm hoping, you know, stuff doesn't always work out how you want it to. Really keeping my fingers crossed and hoping that I will have content to post while I'm on maternity leave and like take a few months off, and it will still like seem like I'm here even though I'm not. So we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. So yeah, I'm trying to like film as much as I can behind the scenes and get it all like prepped in advance. So hopefully you'll be seeing more of me. Also, I'm not having the baby yet. I'm due in July, but you know, prepping already. Anyway, I'm gonna go now.